Welcome to the Unraveling Achiever, the podcast for the person who's done everything right and is now questioning what that even means. I'm Angela McKay, former SVP of HR turned intuitive career coach. I help accomplished women stop defaulting to what looks good and start building what feels true. Because you don't have to turn your life upside down. You just need to point your achiever energy toward a soul-led career and life you'll love. Every episode, I tune into the energy of what's showing up for my clients and community and share what needs to be heard. No bypassing the mess, just honest guidance for the unraveling that changes everything. So, on the Unraveling Achiever, I'm talking to folks who have always functioned with an achiever mindset, no matter the origin. High achievers are really good at ignoring their bodies, myself included. We push through the fatigue. We work through headaches. We convince ourselves that what we're doing is what we need to do because, responsibility. We tell ourselves, I'll rest when this project is done, except there's always another project. And our bodies, they're patient at first. They whisper a little tension here, some tiredness there, a gentle nudge that says, hey, I need something from you. But when we don't listen, when we keep pushing because there's too much to do and slowing down feels impossible or maybe even scary, the body stops whispering and it starts screaming. So the migraine that won't quit, the exhaustion that you feel when you take a moment to pause, the pain that finally forces you to stop. I've been noticing this in myself lately. So my body is asking something of me. More movement, more rest, better care, more water. I don't know. I'm having trouble actually giving it what it needs no matter what I try. Like I can't quite figure it out. I have a feeling that the reach is beyond physical, but I also know that's where I need to start. And I know I'm not alone in this. We know we need to nourish ourselves, to rest, to move, to slow down, and actually care for our health, not just when we feel brittle and parched, but all the time before it becomes urgent. But there's also the needs that we can't hear, that we don't notice, because we don't slow down and get quiet and tune in and get honest with what we truly, truly want for our lives. In my work with clients, in my program, Soul Led Career, I have a lesson called the Happy Houseplant. And I know it sounds silly, but it helps to create a baseline of basic care. It creates the foundation from which you function every day, from which you take care of your people and your priorities. When life is rocky, there's often something in our baseline that is calling for attention, that our bodies alert us to. And creating this baseline is what allows you to do the intuitive work more easily. When you are cared for, you are better tuned in to your mind-body-soul connection and better primed to hear and follow your intuitive nudges, your soul's guidance. So for today's episode, I tuned into the energy of an aligned body, a body that feels great in life and at work, and the wisdom that we can gain from that energetic state, the physical body of an aligned, balanced achiever. So please note, nothing that I say here is to be taken as medical advice. Consult professionals always. And also, this won't include any body shaming or get fit messaging. I'm just tuning in to the energy of an aligned body. I received 3 messages for you, and here's what came through. So the first message, it went straight to the topic of emotions. I'm asking about the aligned, balanced physical body and the energetic state of such, and it goes right to emotions. So everything is energy, including emotions. And when we experience emotions and we don't acknowledge them, we don't process them, they get stored in the body. And if it's not processed, it will result in physical ailments. So those headaches that I talked about, or the fatigue, or the pain, that, tight trap muscle from keeping your shoulders up to your ears, your emotions, when not processed, will store in your body and produce in a physical way. And it is how your body gets your attention. It's calling awareness to something for you. So with that, you're being asked to really slow down. You can do it right now if you're in a safe place to do so, but you just really slow down, become really present in your moment. Feel your body. Feel where you have different sensations, whether they're comfortable or uncomfortable. Don't judge it. Just see what's showing up for you when you really allow yourself to slow down and pay attention to what your body is telling you. See what lives in those spaces. So let's take that one that maybe there's a little bit of discomfort or you can feel a little bit of energy there. Just see what lives there. And if you can, put a name to it. What are you feeling? What is the feeling that lives there? What emotion are you experiencing? And then don't stop there. That's usually surface level. Go a couple layers deeper with that of what you are feeling there. It allows you to start processing what it is that you're actually experiencing in life and what it is that you want to move through to start allowing your body to align into a more balanced state. We often keep busy. Keeping busy tends to act as a numbing agent. If we keep busy, then we don't have to deal with what our body feels like. We don't have to deal with the emotions that we're trying to stuff down because they're inconvenient to deal with right now. So rather than choosing keeping busy in the same way that people might choose, scrolling through their phone, try tuning in. Try discovering what it is that you actually need. And I'll acknowledge that sometimes that can be scary. It can be scary to acknowledge how you actually feel. It can be scary to acknowledge what you actually need because sometimes those result in a counterpart of, okay, if I feel this way or if I want this thing, then there's something I need to change to be able to remedy that, to be able to feel differently, to be able to be on a path that I want to be on. But just remember that you can do this work really safely. Just start by acknowledging how your body feels. Start by acknowledging the emotions that you've been suppressing. Allow them to move through you. And whatever you find from that, whatever you discover from that, you can take small steps. We covered this in the last episode in the energy of loving what you do in the third message is you can take small steps to start making forward movement. You don't have to do anything that completely disrupts your life. Message number 2, the energy of the aligned, balanced physical body. It came through as feeling really safe and steady and secure. They have chosen relationships that are good for them. They have created boundaries for those that aren't, and they're great at creating a routine and a rhythm for their basic needs. So in these basic needs, it expressed rest and sleep, hydration, nutrition, movement, and nature. So the aligned, balanced physical body of that high-achieving person, it feels safe, steady, and secure in their body. And that is due to the relationships that they have chosen to engage with and chosen to keep at an arm's distance, and the routine and rhythm that has been chosen to take care of their basic needs: rest and sleep, hydration, nutrition, movement, and nature. These are at the foundation of that aligned and balanced physical body. Note that there's no one way to approach any of those things. It's going to be individual to the person who's approaching that routine and rhythm. And I'm going to emphasize in this one again, like start small. Just turn your focus to one of those few things and start making a little headway on that to start aligning your body with an energetic match of that aligned and balanced physical body of the high achiever. The third message, they care for themselves and have deep reverence for their physical form, not in a superficial way. Instead, in an honoring way. They have learned that the body is a sacred vessel to house the soul. It's an instrument and a receiver, and they honor it. In the mind-body-soul connection, the body is the receiver. Using all of its senses, it receives information and sends it up to the mind. The mind processes it and produces an emotion. Ideally, the mind is open to the wisdom of the soul rather than closed to it. Then we have this open mind, body, soul connection. So in that equation, with the body being the receiver, it is up to us how we treat our body, how finely tuned that receiver is to receiving the information. And with that, we have to think of the body in the long-term view. So the choices that we make day in and day out, they are building the future that we are creating. The way that we are treating our bodies now is what is building up to how our bodies will feel later. The overarching message that I received after intaking these three messages was simply to give your body love, long-term love, appreciate it. Um, when it comes to the physical body, our mind can say a lot of awful things. So we're really tuning into how can we love this body that we've been given, no matter its ability, no matter its current state. How can we be appreciative of this physical body we have, of this sacred vessel that houses our soul, of this way that we are able to navigate the world? So you're really being asked to consider how you can give your body this long-term love. Sure, we have like short-term pleasures as well, but we have to understand what is a short-term pleasure versus what is long-term love. How can you honor your body as it navigates the world? So to recap those messages, we have one, it was all about the emotions and the emotions being energy. And when we suppress those, we stuff that energy into our body and it shows up in physical ways. So how can you slow down and feel into your body, see what is living there? How can you resist trying to stay busy and trying to numb yourself from feeling what you really need to feel? And that second is this aligned, balanced physical body. It feels safe and steady and secure. And it does that by choosing the relationships that are best for it and choosing a routine and rhythm to care for the basic needs. And then third, they have deep reverence for their physical form. They understand how special it is, how important it is that we were given this body to navigate the world. And they choose to treat it in a way that it will be here for a while. So this is long-term appreciation for the body. They understand that it is the receiver of information in the world and try to keep it finely tuned as a receiver, as an instrument. And they do that by just having deep reverence and honor for this body that they have. So then as I'm thinking about that for myself, I opened by saying that there's some things that I've been experiencing and I'm back and forth between, do I need to move more or am I pushing too hard? Do I need to rest or have I been resting too much? Is it really just more water that I need? Like it's just been like a lot of back and forth that I've been experiencing. And I can just tell that something is asking for me to do something different. So as I'm going through this list on the emotional side, I do have a morning routine in which I do slow down and I really tune into my body and what it is asking of me. I do some form of journaling where I can work through what it is that I'm feeling. I grew up with the notorious, everything's fine, everything will be fine, kind of invalidating messaging. And I really have to lean into like, no, I really do feel this way about this thing and allow myself to be able to express that in some form. The relationships. So, through life, there's been a number of times where I can see how relationships negatively impacted me and then negatively impacted how it was that I treated my body by the choices that I made. The further you go along and you can see how relationships support you and how they don't, you're able to better get a feel for how you feel in the presence of a person and what it is that you need to do in your approach to either right size that relationship or put it at a distance that it wasn't at before. You have to make those choices. And this is from relationships at home to relationships at work. Just really pay attention to what effect they have on your body. It communicates a lot to you. And then the routine and rhythm, I did create that happy houseplant protocol because there was a lot of self-learning for me in how to best take care of my body as a receiver and how to best take care of my mind so that I could do the intuitive work that I do. I have to care for myself deeply in order to be able to do the intuitive work that I do to the degree that I am able to do it. And that last message is really one that I've gained a better relationship with, and that is just honoring my body in a long-term way. And it's really easy to make the short-term pleasures part of your routine and rhythm. But if those short-term pleasures don't have a great long-term effect and you put them on a routine or a rhythm, then you can see which way you're pointing the physical alignment of your body by doing that. So always keeping that one in mind and just always being able to speak to my body in a better way and about my body in a better way just really helps with that alignment as well. If I honor this body I have rather than rag on it and be critical of it, it completely changes my relationship with how sacred my body is and what it is able to do for me. And like I said, that's regardless of your level of ability or how your body is in this present day, there's always something to be found about how your body can better serve you. So obviously for me there is something in that relationship of what are the choices that I'm making and what are the effect that they are having on my body. And when I dive into that work and when I start looking at that, I'm always able to find at least one thing that I'm like, oh yeah, probably that. And then I can start with that and see how it goes. Never take on too much at once. Just allow yourself to take, bite-sized pieces of it. I hope that through listening to this, you can understand how that aligned and balanced physical body plays a part in how your days feel and how you react to your day. I hope that you've been able to pick something up from this that says, "Oh, yeah, I can feel that, and perhaps I should slow down and give that a little bit more consideration and see what I can come up with." And if what you heard today resonated, I'd love to support you in going deeper. Soul Reading is a 75-minute one-on-one session where I open your Akashic records and help you reconnect with what your soul already knows about your path and your purpose and what's next. You can learn more and book at angelamckllc.com/soul-reading. And if this episode landed for you, be sure to subscribe or follow so you don't miss what's coming next. New episodes drop every Wednesday. Thank you for being here. And until next time, take care.